Well, things are going quite well, as we expected and as we were hoping for. Since the 1st of April, it has been possible to apply to the Kansspelautoriteit or the KSA for a license for online gambling. We have set up a separate department, temporary department, operated by permanent staff, supplemented by temporary staff. And as our experience is until now, that works very well. In the run-up to the 1st of April, we regularly listen to our colleagues in other countries who already had experience with online gambling and the licensing process. I would particularly like to mention Sweden, Malta, the UK and Denmark in this respect. We have also held many public consultations about our policy rules and rules that translate the legislation into practice. We have published our draft policy rules on each occasion and have asked for feedback. All operators have therefore had plenty of opportunities to provide input. We have incorporated the reactions into the definitive policy rules where possible. So, all in all, I would say it's a huge task, but so far, so good. A lot depends on how operators are going to behave. I've already called on them for several times not to go overboard with marketing and advertising and not to seek out the limits of what is allowed. Of course, I do understand there is a market to be conquered, and that's quite exciting. But we have seen in other countries that the government intervened at some point. We will try to avoid that in the Netherlands by means of a strict supervision, while appealing to the industry to operate responsibly at the same time. And next to that, I hope for ambitious and effective self-regulation to underline the sense of responsibility by the industry itself. The KSA can't do anything about the amount of marketing. That's up to the sector itself. In this respect, I would also like to mention that we will only succeed if there is no cause for negative publicity in our country. No matter how good the intentions are and how well set up your own organization is, just one distressing story, widely publicized in the media, of someone who has hit rock bottom because of a gambling addiction would be a blow to the industry and in fact to all of us. So hence my repeated plea for truly responsible gambling and don't look for the edges of marketing. As a result of a parliamentary motion, operators who have been offering illegal gambling services specifically targeted at the Dutch consumers will not be granted a license at the same moment as companies who fully respected the rules. That is what the legislator wants, and that is how we implement it. We will see later what the consequences are for the market makeup on the short run. Operators who have not behaved properly in the past and who will still want a place on the Dutch market later should do their best to catch up afterwards. So it's a result of their own illegal behavior that they are in this position now. And my main concern is that Dutch players can turn to reliable operators. I'm confident that there will be, from October on, a sufficiently attractive legal supply, a legal offering. That's all that really matters to us. Of course, our final ambition is to have a channelization grade as high as possible. And that might take some time. We are also busy with the situation that arises after market opening. Supervision of licensed operators is being set up. The supervision of online operators will be primarily data-driven. As of this date, the 1st of October, License operators will be obliged to set up a data safe and periodically provide data from this vault to the KSA. This data will lay solid foundations for our supervision activities. We developed a format that specifies what data we require and how and in what form it should be provided. In any event, an important focus of our oversight activities, online and land-based, will be whether sufficient attention is paid to the prevention of gambling addiction. This is, after all, a primary objective of the Remote Gambling Act. Consumers who wish to gamble online must be able to access legal operators who provide a safe environment. And in this regard, a safe environment means to us honest gameplay, attention to addiction prevention, and no stimuli to continue gambling. I would like to highlight one more vital success factor, and that is our ability to make business life difficult for the remaining illegal operators. We are also preparing for that. It's important in this regard that the law gives the KSA powers to do so. A very important thing is that we can cut off payment traffic between illegal providers and their players. So, supervision of licensed operators and combat the remaining illegal operators are also top priorities. 1st of October will be an important day for the Netherlands and players who want to make use of legal and safe gambling environments. Thus, the IGB Live is an important event just before opening of our market, where key stakeholders can meet each other and be updated on all situations in our country. So this is IGB Live is at a crucial moment.